Today, there is some breaking crypto news that I need to share with you guys. Some unfortunate news happening in the world that is affecting the markets. One thing that has been holding Bitcoin back from taking new all-time highs and preventing a altcoin rally and a pump for risk on assets is tariffs and inflation. But now, just one more unfortunate story to kind of add to the bucket. Let's talk about this breaking news story and why I opened this short position with the stop loss set. Earlier today, we had Bitcoin dip all the way down to $102,000, back up to 104 today, and I have a feeling there could potentially be a retest down to 100K. And if things continue to escalate with the story I need to share with you guys, we could see things dip a little bit lower, and I'm prepared for buying opportunities. Let me be very clear. I am bullish on crypto, but trading the volatility of this asset class. Let's get into the news, guys. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip. Please remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but we need to talk about this news that is breaking. Let's take a peek at this headline right now, folks. So if you haven't already heard, Israel has officially had airstrikes on Iran's nuclear sites, and we are seeing a potential increase in tensions in the Middle East, looking at potential retaliation today. As you look, and you can see the story is still unfolding, you can see some of the detail here. This is not great headlines ever. Nobody likes these tensions, but it's certainly not having a positive impact on the market. Look at some of the wreckage from this. Here's a headline: stocks slide as the president urges Iran to make a deal after the Israel strike. Now, whether you think this has anything to do with crypto or not, let me tell you, look at the price action. It certainly impacts these markets. One thing we've been talking about is tariffs, inflation problems, and a very difficult scenario for the Fed to cut rates. Well, we have had some positive news that has led to a potential increase in the chances of a rate cut in September. We have to see how this news impacts markets. Now, I don't believe that this changes the risks of inflation or anything of the sort. It's kind of a separate issue, but it is going to be an issue for the market. As you'll see, this headline from Cointelegraph reporting Bitcoin slides to 103 as Israel launches airstrikes on Iran. Now, the CEO of GameStop says this is where you buy. And, I agree. As we see these dips, anytime you see a dip in an asset that you like, especially Bitcoin, if you believe in the future of it, I believe it's a good time for accumulation. Again, not financial advice. That's just the way I do it. You DCA into the assets, into the stocks, into the cryptocurrencies that you like steadily over time if you believe that they're going to go up in the future. And certainly for Bitcoin, in my opinion, I believe it's going to go much, much higher. But this news is impacting the market today. Just take a look at the rest of the crypto market right now. If you do, you're going to see over the last 24 hours, let's refresh these charts. You'll see we are having only a few coins that are up today. Most of the market is extremely red, down 18, 15%. So many coins are getting big retracements today. They were much further down earlier today. And what we also see at a time like this is Bitcoin is breaking through this blue trend line that I have here, kind of signaling, yes, potentially we could be slipping lower, maybe retesting down to $100,000, which is a very, very key level. This is part of that breaking story, guys. What happens when these tensions rise and when there's uncertainty? Bitcoin dominance continues to rise, okay? Now, we have been in this range pretty steadily between 63 and 66%. These are the kind of news stories that could cause a boost for Bitcoin dominance, and that could come in the shape of Bitcoin falling a little bit lower, altcoins bleeding significantly versus Bitcoin. And as you'll see here, Ethereum is losing its momentum on the monthly candle after all the progress Ethereum has had over the last few days, over the last week or so. We are now starting to see a big downturn for Ethereum. Now, I am not saying with any certainly not 100% certainty, right? I can't possibly predict exactly what comes next, but I've seen historically when we see these news stories come out about conflicts, and it's happening on top of some of the still ongoing tariff concerns, this is a fearful moment for crypto. In the long term, a dollar cost averaging opportunity. In the short term, a trading opportunity. XRP came back down and touched $2.08, a very key level. Man, it just keeps touching these levels that I have drawn. We could easily see it slip back down to $2, especially if Bitcoin comes back down to $100,000, which is going to be a key level. What do you have to look out for? The downside below 100K, possibly a bounce back down to 92, possibly a bounce back down to 88. I would be surprised if we went lower than that, even with this conflict. Now, what we have to keep an eye on for this news is, are we going to see escalation on this? We do not have an idea of whether this is going to happen or not. The president is urging Iran to make a deal after they got hit by some airstrikes, which is brutal. I mean, just look at this wreckage. You're seeing defense stocks jump up, but conversations it's in the headline of Middle East tensions. This does have something to do with the crypto market volatility. As I see this volatility, I like to trade. We are right now in the profit on this slightly after, again, seeing Bitcoin drop down to 102 and rally back up this morning. People are waking up today, seeing the headline, and now selling off. People that saw the news happen quickly saw the dip, scooped it up. Not a bad idea, but knowing maybe there could be a little bit more downside, I wanted to open up a little bit of a short, and like I like to do, now that it is entering a little bit of the profit, I'm just going to continue to move my stop loss down over the course of the day to minimize the risk that I have on this trade and the potential damage if the trade goes the wrong way. But as this goes further into the profit, what I will do is lower the stop loss. Now, I have been doing higher leverage trades lately. This is a little bit of a lower leverage play for me here. I am currently in a 20x short for Bitcoin, as you can see right here, guys. And that is because I'm looking at a potential test on that level at maybe even $100,000. So it's something I want to keep my eye on, something I wanted to report to you guys in this video, taking a look at what the potential odds are of a rate cut. Let's take a peek at that as well, because those have gone up. In 5 days, 3 hours, we're going to have an FOMC meeting. The odds for a rate cut in September came up a little bit slightly of maybe a pause, but we are still sitting with over an 80% chance that we are going to get a rate cut by September. So in the long term, things are still looking bullish for crypto, right? There is more mainstream crypto adoption than we've ever seen before. The inflation data was pretty decent lately. This conflict in the Middle East is not too good for the price action. I'm trading the volatility. If I see a test down 100K, I would be looking for a potential long there, looking at some of the other levels that I laid out for you for potential bounces as well. I keep an eye on this market day in, day out. If you want to learn more about the crypto industry and the breaking news that's happening, well, you can follow this channel for the latest updates in the space. Guys, that's all I have for you in this one. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, DCA HODL. If you want to sign up for Blowfin, do some trading for yourself, I got a link in the description down below if you want to check it out, up to a $5,000 deposit bonus. Until next time, guys, I got 2 videos here if you want to check them out. I'll see you in the next one. Please remember, not financial advice, but we're going to keep the updates coming, guys. Peace.